Aaron Pitt here, still with the Motorshow on this beautiful Sunday afternoon. Hopefully it's beautiful wherever you are in WA. Now, as we do every now and then, we get some information back from the industry, and there's nowhere better to go than the auction departments, especially at the moment. So I've got the General Manager of Manhiem Fowles on the phone, Brian Mobbs. How you doing, Brian?
Good afternoon. Well, thanks, Aaron.
Mate, thanks for coming on the show. I suppose the question to lead off with is what's going on in the industry? We're into the new financial year. We've got to the end of, or hopefully coming to the end of all the dented sales, and we can get back to normal.
That's certainly the biggest impact on car sales this year has been the enormous number of hail-damaged cars coming to the market. Mm-hmm. Not just the hail-damaged cars themselves, but the effect that they've had on used car prices. They've made the price of cars quite volatile, mm-hmm. and it is difficult to actually value a car into the future. So we're finding that the prices spike and trough almost week to week over the last couple of months. Mm-hmm. We are coming to the end of the hail, so we're hoping that will settle out now. We get some consistency in pricing going forward.
Okay. What I suppose, I mean, you handle a massive amount, hundreds and hundreds of vehicles a month. So out of that, what would be the cherry car at the moment that people are after?
Well, in general terms, there are lower volumes coming through from fleets. Mm-hmm. Fleets are hanging onto their cars longer. So as far as buying is concerned, now is probably the time. We're predicting that in the next couple of weeks or month or so, prices will increase as the volumes stay low. At the moment, we've got the new model Foresters coming through, the Forester X.
Yes.
So it's the current shape coming through as a used vehicle. 08 models. So the model prior to that, those 6s and 07s, we're finding a bit of easing in the pricing there. Mm-hmm. So there might be something quite good to pick up in that Forester range. Mm-hmm. We're finding that the number of commercials, like commercial vehicles, the volumes in those in particular are picking up a little bit. Given that the new car supply has now eased up a little bit, mm-hmm. we're getting some good quantities coming through. So we're expecting a little bit of easing in the light commercial market. So keep an eye on that, and you might see that the prices will soften a little bit in that area. Another thing to note is too that fleets are tending to diversify their fleets a little bit now. So we're getting a few unusual fleet cars come through, like Mazda 3s and 6s. Wow. Come through in a little bit of volume. So there's a little bit of range there to pick up now as the fleets have gone through a diversification phase, and they're now starting to come back into the market. Okay,
and the other question, hybrid cars, are you seeing them coming through now?
We are. There's been a push, of course, particularly with government fleets, to green their fleet and lead the way in this commercial area. So we find quite a good quantity of Priuses coming through, and some of the smaller, more fuel-efficient cars are starting to come back in the market now. We've got a couple of Priuses at the moment, ex-government ones, and that's the beginning of their program to start turning those cars over.
Okay. Now, you're an auction house that has a rule that you don't own any of the cars you sell. So
Correct.
How does it work if someone like myself wants to sell a car through your facility?
You'd come down and see us at our place near the International Airport. We'd walk around the car with you, and we'd talk about the value that we think the vehicle will reach at auction. Mm-hmm. We've got a fair bit of history and a fair bit of information to call on from recent sales, so we can be fairly accurate with that pricing. Mm-hmm. You can book the car in with us, and we sell it on your behalf. Mm-hmm. Protected with the reserve price, so we don't give the cars away. We make sure we get above your minimum requirement. Okay. And you pay the fees if we're successful in selling the car. Okay, and then you just give them the funds and you move on. And away you go. We pass the car on. We only pass it on once we've received clear funds. It goes to a trust account, and then those funds go on to you. But you hit a good point there. We don't buy cars ourselves. We're not trading in cars. There's no competition there. Yep. We sell on consignment only on behalf of other sellers. Okay. Now.